every youngster comes through from cadets, since there's Bambinos, cadets, and then into junior road acts. For instance,
number 55, not going anywhere. Ronnie Legg.
That's a shame. Lucas, where is he? Luke Wells on the number 66. He got his kart at Christmas.
Right. Oh, brilliant.
He's without any karting experience.
Excellent.
This is perfect for him. This is perfect for finding his feet and getting involved in karting at junior road acts age group.
And another driver, number 15, Noah Jones. Now, he had only been karting a few months. Started at Shennington, 5 seconds a lap off the pace, and finished the final in 14th position. We spoke to his mechanic, Jonathan Buck, during the paddock show, and it was, he was literally 5 seconds off the pace on Friday. Come Sunday, he's within a second and a half and battling for a top 15. And we've got nearly 30 drivers on this field.
Yeah, we have got 29, 27, 29 have qualified. That's the information I've got in front of me. We've got, I don't know what that means.
Second rolling lap.
Oh, yes, we know that. Yeah, we were told. Dan 55's restarted. Great stuff. Yeah. That's semaphore from our producer, Nick Damon, this weekend. Nick's producing and not talking over me.
Apologies. Well, here we go then. It'll be Isaac Jameson in the number 19 kart on pole. Elijah Hazelwood on the outside of row number 1. Lewis Gilbert and Aston Brown are on row 2. Noah Clark and Zach Jennings, row 3. Then Elijah Hartley and, thanks to Damon, Ronnie Legg. The restarted Ronnie. All got. Oh dear, that could be big. And they're going to go around again. Somebody coming out of the final corner. Number 40.
That's 48, is it?
Is it the 40 or the 40?
46.
8. It's not going to be.
Well, somebody lost it mid-pack, didn't they?
Yes, there they are going around. And, of course, then it was the number 14 kart that lost of Lewis Gilbert. That was the first driver to spin. And Lewis was due to start third. He either got pushed around or came off the final corner, and the kart didn't go. And the driver behind then sort of like pushed him around. And the red flag is out.
So
a number on that.
4. It's a 4, isn't it? At the front.
It is definitely a number 4 at the front. That could be Noah Clark. I'm hoping it is.
I thought I saw the axle sort of flopping around.
So you can see Lewis Gilbert gets turned around. And the driver behind him, and then you've got 3 drivers piling in, and of course then other drivers clipping the debris.
Yeah, it's just the rear bumpers come off.
Yes.
I thought for a moment it bent the axle, but it's not. It's just the rear bumper flopping off.
Now, is that we crown our first official Motorsport UK champions.
Yeah, we do.
In Bambino and Might E Bambino, they are fighting for an official Motorsport UK British Championship. And of course, when we get to PFI, Glyn Griffiths, the head marshal there, will be there with his Mawams.
That's why he's gone woohoo PFI
yes,
on the YouTube chat.
Glyn and Team TVKC will be out in force.
Disappointingly, I'm having to miss PFI because Nick and I will have to be on Le Mans 24-hour duties.
Well,
with the big kids. With the big cars.
It's a tough job, but someone's got to do it, Joe.
Absolutely. But Karting Live TV will still be there. We'll still be bringing you full live coverage from the weekend. And like we say, it's a bit of history. PFI for the first time for the Kart Championship. But for now, Henry, we're at Gleneagles, and we still have to get through round 3. Let's not get overly excited this early. Now then, after the riot act has been read and people have been pinned to a wall, metaphorically, we have been given a stern warning, and the grid nicely formed up and in slow formation, and the 44 is back on having reattached his bumper, is he?
He's not back on. Noah Clark is not there.
No, he's not. He's gone.
So Noah Clark either is going to be starting at the back or not at all. We will catch up with that, but it was a good, clean start this time around.
It's an X-Kart 1-2 through turn 1 and up the hill towards Spoon. It's still an X-Kart 1-2. Just trying to see the number on which of those X-Kart drivers. Is it Jameson? Is it Hazelwood? down the hill to the carousel through the...
Jameson.
It's Jameson that leads from the pole position, and the number 19 it is from the 21, and then we've got Lewis Gilbert. So in grid order, as we get towards the compression for the first time, grid order, and it'll be grid order, I think, certainly for the first three. Then we'll have a look as they cross the line to see who's where.
And to be fair to Elijah Hazelwood, the winner at Shenington. Oh, Gilbert running wide there, coming out of the final corner, and that opened the door for the 57 of Aston Brown. Aston Brown briefly then runs wide in that TB kart. Gilbert back into third. Oh, Brown's had a problem. Aston Brown with a problem on that TB kart, and he's about to... I'm not sure, that couldn't have been something related to that earlier incident. I hope he hadn't run wide. I wonder if he has just come back on and ran wide. He slowed very suddenly, did the number 57. We'll try and pick him up. He's in that bright green TB kart. What, the official TB kart sort of graphics kit? Yeah,
the X-Kart team, which are the official distributors for the TB kart. They are currently, and we've got a Battenberg flag. It's going to change the rules for the Battenberg flag. It's going to go to slow boards, isn't it, next year, I believe?
Yes, I think that's probably in keeping with karting worldwide. Now, there's the 57. So
he dropped right back, hasn't he?
He just ran wide, and I thought he was tiring, but he was obviously running wide going up the hill. The reason we are under the Battenberg flag is for an incident on the run down to the carousel. Driver is up and out of his go-kart. That would be the number 27 of Pierce Whitehead. There he is. Yeah. And Pierce...
Was that two karts involved in that, Nick? Or?
Well, I would... there's another kart at the bottom of the screen. Is that Ronnie Legg?
Being wheeled off.
Is that Ronnie Legg? No, it's the number 29. That would be Oliver Chesovich.
Now then, Oliver was quite a way up the order.
He was 17th,
yeah.
And where was Mr. Whitehead?
What number was Whitehead?
Whitehead is number 27.
He was down at the back. And so I think we lost that kart on the opening lap. He's not completed one lap, and we're already on lap 3. Now then, what's the Battenberg mean? What the Battenberg means is that it's effectively, if you're familiar with car racing, it's kind of like the virtual safety car, where the leader becomes the safety car. And the leader, who is Isaac Jameson on the number 19 X kart, the TB kart, will follow the flag signals, and until we see a waved green, which will be shown on the start-finish straight for the restart, he has to stay at half racing speed. And the rest of the field have to form up behind him, so it'll be a line of stern race start. And what you usually see is, if the experienced leader of the pack is clever enough to see when we're going to go green, he'll certainly get his foot down at the apex, but not this time. Jameson keeping his foot down. Now, the restart doesn't necessarily come at the start-finish line, does it?
Normally it does, yes.
Does it?
Yes, it will. They will release the...
So we can clearly say, Henry, that we're going to go round once again.
100% we're going to go around again. The go-kart is... the driver is okay. The go-kart is, I think, now in a safe position. So I'm not quite sure why we didn't go green that lap. The race clock is still running. Not the most auspicious of starts for our Junior Primo class, I have to say.
No, not at all. Not at all. However, nothing out of character.
Well, they've got another superheat. Now, the good news is that at least all these X-Kart drivers have had the decency to get different colour crash helmets.
Yes.
Because you have... and now it all comes flooding back to me from Shenington. So Jameson is the green helmet, Hazelwood is the orange helmet, and then Hartley is the black helmet.
Right.
Jennings is the black helmet, and Hartley is the white helmet. And something like that.
Is Lewis Gilbert, who's splitting the X-Kart lot up, who's Lewis with? Do you know?
No.
Right.
No, haven't
we'll
got
try and see.
Well,
he's got a white nose. That's probably to save a bit of weight. And he's got a yellow and blue fairing, the NASA panel on the front of the car. Let's see his side pod. Scuffed, full of tyre marks.
Yes.
Can't tell who that is. We're getting towards the start-finish line.
This should be.
I think we should see the restart. Cooper Campbell-Lees, who came into this third round in the lead of the championship with a second place at Wardenlaw, 18th in the final at Shennington, didn't go great. Had great heats and super final. However, he's 7th, so keep an eye on 7th place car.
It was a penalty at
right.
Shennington. Yes, so the green flag waves, and we are racing once again. 2.5 minutes plus change to go.
And a little tap of the helmet there from Isaac Jameson tells his teammate Elijah Wood, let's work together. Let's work together and try and break away from Lewis Gilbert. Now, Lewis Gilbert is not the Lewis Gilbert that is a British Championship.
No.
This is a much younger Lewis Gilbert. I'm not even sure if our Lewis Gilbert here is from Scotland at all. Not like the British Championship.
Yes, Lewis Gilbert is not the Diamond. This is not the Diamond of Dalry. This is new Lewis. This is new school
Lewis Gilbert 2.
Lewis Gilbert Mark 2, yes.
Yes, we should be calling him. Here we go then, through the compression, Devil's Elbow, and then the paddock turn, and then across the line. I love that tails away shot. It really is fantastic. Jameson, Hazelwood, Gilbert, Zach Jennings 4th, Elijah Hartley 5th, Alfie Forrester, Cooper Campbell-Lee still in 7th, Ethan Bath. The only movement in the top 10, Zach Mackay ahead of Ronnie Legg for 9th.
Now unfortunately we're down to 25. Jasper Oakes also out of the race, along with Chezovic and the unfortunate Pierce Whitehead, and of course sadly the 44 kart of Noah Clark didn't take the restart. As we're looking now at green helmet, orange helmet, Lewis Gilbert Mark II, black helmet, white and pink crash helmet.
We'll get them by the season end.
Yes,
and then they'll change the liveries, of course, on the helmet.
And they'll change
new paint jobs.
Yes, of course.
So we've got X-Kart having a very, very good representation here. 1st, 2nd and 4th. Lewis Gilbert, the interloper, in that team effort there. But again, first 4 breaking away from the next 4, which is Elijah Hartley, Alfie Forrester, Cooper Campbell-Lees, and Zach Mackay now. I wouldn't be surprised, Henry, if we see the 5th place car joining onto the back and making this an 8-car train for the lead overall.
Yeah, and Alfie Forrester, who is trying to... I just see Cooper Campbell-Lees, I think, has just passed Alfie Forrester for 6th position. Let's have a look. Yeah, Forrester in that very brightly livery number 79 car. He slipped back to 7th. Zach Mackay, Ronnie Legg and Sam Eden rounding out your top 10. Good job by Lewis Gilbert. Number 1, got turned around the first start. That's going to shake anyone's confidence, even these youngsters. Then number 2 is surrounded by teammates. And you know that they will work together if at all possible, so he can't make a mistake. They
are working together just to prove Bradley wrong, because that 5th place car has not been able to make any kind of inroads. Elijah Hartley in 5th with Cooper Campbell-Lees, Alfie Forrester, Zach Mackay. They've got their own group, 5th downwards.
Yes.
This leading group here across the line to complete what is lap number 8 now. These 4 seem to be working together, but they're on the last lap. So if they are working together, that's over now. They're just racing. And I think, Henry, I suspect they've been absolutely flat out from the green flag at the restart.
Yeah, and you can now start looking at Zach Jennings in 4th position. He's starting to move around offline to maybe think about passing Gilbert, but Gilbert has got designs on 2nd place Elijah Hazelwood. But it's looking like they're I'd be surprised if anybody makes a move in the top 4 through these final couple of corners. Looks as though, they played it nice and safe. This is only the first superheat.
Yes. Yeah.
The second rappel crossing the line.
Yeah, but good spot, Henry.
Yes.
Just look at that purple lap time from Lewis Gilbert. He did have designs.
Yes.
That was the fastest lap of the whole race, and everybody in that top 4 green lap times, meaning they are putting in their personal best lap times. Isaac Jameson takes the win. Isaac Jameson takes the win. Elijah Hazelwood takes 2nd. Lewis Gilbert took 3rd. Zach Jennings 4th. Elijah Hartley, Cooper Campbell-Lee, Zach Mackay, Alfie Forrester. That was 5th to 8th. And then it was Ronnie Legg and Samuel Yeadon. Brilliant. Junior Primo grid lining up there, Henry.
Yes.
I'll leave you to read that.
No problem.
And I'll nip into the pits for a quick tyre change.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. It's 29 karts. It's an X-Kart sweep of the front row. Let's have a little look at the full starting lineup. Isaac Jameson will start on pole position. Saw Elijah Hazelwood's mechanic, Chris Harvey, step away from his kart. Chris Harvey, of course, and his son Louis Harvey, former British Junior TKM champion, and now also helping run the Charlie Thompson row 13, Lucas Olofsson, Jasper Oakes and George Ralston.
We have got a green flag. The karts have been released. I just want to say hello again to Joshua Owen. Matty Street is one of the good guys in karting.
Does he know him?
He clearly does.
Okay. Sorry, Matt. I'm an equal.
Clearly not, as well as
yeah.
Yes. No, he is. He's a good lad, who's Matty. I wish I had his energy. Although he is quite young. He's younger than you and I.
He's younger, yes.
Yes, that's why he's got that energy. Can you remember when we had that energy?
I vaguely, I think.
I'm not sure I ever did.
I do seem to remember Matty Street racing, I think, Junior Blue in the NKRA a long time ago.
Brilliant. I'm going to keep that the last comment on the YouTube channel. Please fire in any questions or any comments that you want to on our Kart Championship or our Karting Live YouTube channels, and I'm going to leave that one for the Might E Bambino final for when I mention that one.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go then. We've got the start of the race. Heading towards Spoon now.
Out of the
21,
first corner, yeah.
Elijah Hazelwood from the pole.
So Hazelwood actually from the outside of row number one. Got the drop on, his orange helmet gets the drop on green crash helmet. Green crash helmet was Isaac Jameson, who was leading, who was on the pole, but orange crash helmet takes the race lead. Now we will keep one eye on our timing screen, the official notice board. Was that a good start, a very good start, or was it a too good start?
Yeah. Dan Ashton is a stickler for his starts as we cross the line to complete one lap. Hazelwood, Jameson and X-Kart 1-2 again. Lewis Gilbert, we've heard that name before, in third. Aston Brown, Zach Jennings, Ronnie Legg ahead of Noah Clark, Alfie Forrester, Cooper Campbell-Lees and Elijah Hartley. That's your top 10 as the lead battle was two karts. It's about to become six, I think, Henry.
And there are two karts parked. They look like there's the two drivers. Oh, it's the
71 and 78.
That'll be Harry Ward and Lily Shaw. Lily Shaw is being coached, looked after this weekend by Darryl Henderson from my neck of the woods down in Landau International Raceway. Then went over and made a career for himself in Australia, looking after the Kostecki family.
Wow.
When they were in karting.
Here we go. We've got a battle that is beginning to cause a drop in lap time for the two X-Kart drivers, with Hazelwood and Jameson now beginning. Well, it's all about that green helmet of Isaac Jameson there, who kind of showed his cards a little bit to Elijah Hazelwood and showed that he's not necessarily going to just follow him round. He wants to actually lead this Junior Primo second superheat. This is allowing Gilbert and the rest of that pack to gain ground. And look at that, Henry, almost on the rear bumper there coming through the final turn.
And Lewis Gilbert again, he's the outlier, although he does have company in the form of number 55, Ronnie Legg, in terms of non-X-Kart drivers up at the front. And of course, maybe not in this race, but certainly in the longer main events, drivers will try and work, teammates will try and work together, and drivers who haven't got a teammate in the battle, they will sort of attempt to form temporary alliances.
Temporary alliances. I think we've got temporary alliances going on all the way down this field here, as that two-car battle has become 5 for the lead. As a little bit of an oversteer there just caused Hazelwood a little bit of time, I think. Jameson, Gilbert, Jennings, Legg, that's your top 5. Off towards Spoon, up and over the brow into our view. Just karts just skittering on the brakes there. Remember, only brake on the rear axle do these karts, only one brake, and it's a solid rear axle, so it's kind of like having no differential at all. It is, in fact, it's not like having no, it's like they haven't got a differential. It's just a solid axle, which makes the karts handle quite strangely. When you first get on the kart, if you've only ever driven a car, the first thing you'll find is just how the steering goes really stiff when you turn in. It's all about that rear axle winding itself up. The art is to get that kart to rotate and point where you want it to go, which you see the karts being deliberately put sideways on the brakes. That's to unwind the axle and get the kart pointing in a straight line as best you can. This is a prime example of it here, isn't it?
Yeah, and then you marvel at the kart control of these teenagers, just how they've got to sort of calculate everything in their minds, 3 inches off the ground, nose to tail with one another. Down the hill, Alfie Forrester has now joined the lead group in the number 79 car, that very, very bright.
He has, the bright yellow.
Which tells me that the X-Kart team haven't got huge amounts of extra pace.
He's gone 2/10 quicker than all of those 5 karts ahead of him. Now, that might be because we've got Hazelwood managing. At this age group, the Junior Primo class we talk about, 12 to 14-year-olds, have we got Hazelwood managing the lead here to a point? Perhaps we have, because Forrester's just gone 2/10 quicker, and that's allowed him up onto the rear bumper of Ronnie Legg in 5th place.
Or do we have either Hazelwood managing, or a situation where Jameson hasn't quite got the race experience to make the move and get past his teammates, who's not as quick as he would like him to be? He's sort of sitting and waiting and going, okay, I don't want to get involved in the battle with my teammates, even though I'm a little bit quicker, because we've got to try and work together. That's what Matthew said to us to do. And of course, we are talking about inexperienced junior Rolex drivers, which is what Junior Primo is all about. So yeah, spot on, Henry, I think. Whatever is happening, Hazelwood sees the clock ticking, and Hazelwood's got perhaps a bit of a cushion now that we haven't seen, certainly for the last few laps, on towards the 2-minute board, which will sound in about 8 seconds' time. So we are getting towards opportunities running dry, chances to make a move running dry, especially here at Gleneagore, with the kind of the smooth nature of the track, the fast, smooth corners. You haven't really got a massive braking area to actually make a dive. It's all about momentum into a corner, isn't it, on the brakes at the top of the hill at Spoon, which takes a lot of courage. And I've been keeping one eye on the official Motorsport on the timings. We know Noah Jones, unfortunately, has been mechanical. He's been flagged off the circuit, mechanical flag for a rear bumper problem. But we haven't seen false start penalty for Elijah Hazelwood. We surmised, was it a good start, a very good start, or it was a too good start? It looks like it was just a very good start. And he's been able to then use that. Now Jameson is as close as he's been for some time. This is where you think, minute to go, all bets are off. Teammate or not, I've got to go for it now. Gilbert's still there in 3rd, Jennings 4th, Legg and Forrester. Although Legg and Forrester, they've done all that hard work catching this lead group, and now they're being dropped just when it comes to crunch time. And it's exactly the same situation as we had in Superheat A, which is Lewis Gilbert, Mark II, versus 3 X-Karts.
Same thing, isn't it? It's going to be exactly the same sort of deal into the final as well. I'm not quite sure as he gets turned around there. The number 14, Lewis Gilbert, found himself with an open door, really, on Isaac Jameson, and he perhaps looked for it, goes down the inside, and just gets it all wrong on the brakes there. I think that was more to do with being on the brakes, or did he get held ground?
That was Zach Jennings, who I think misjudged.
Yes, and a warning has just popped up for Zach Jennings, so that was deemed to be contact from Zach Jennings. That has spun Lewis Gilbert, Mark II, round, and he's dropping down the order massively He's already and he's just come through in 9th there. Yeah, so that's a tragedy.
But that was the 3rd position.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why has Isaac Jameson suddenly dropped 1.3 seconds behind Hazelwood? Because they were all together. And now the number 19 kart, green helmet, Isaac Jameson, is miles behind Hazelwood, and he's in fact closing in on, he's being closed in upon by Jennings and Forrester, who has got past Ronnie Legg in the midst of all that.
Forrester on that yellow and black kart there, the small, diminutive stature of Forrester, looking like he could pull away from these two X-karts if he got by. He's got a lot of pace and he just keeps poking his nose down the inside. Well, those opportunities are running out massively here, because here we are on the last lap now as Elijah Hazelwood continues in the lead. That's the car just ahead of the green helmet of Isaac Jameson, who's kind of responded, Henry. He must be listening to you, because he's responded. He's woken up. He's realised that Zach Jennings is close. We're getting to the last few corners of this lap here at Glenagores, the last few corners of Superheat 2. And there is Hazelwood taking the flag from his teammate Isaac Jameson. Zach Jennings makes an X-Kart 1, 2, 3. Alfie Forrester in 4th. Ronnie Legg 5th. Noah Clark, who comes through in 6th. Cooper Campbell Lease. We have got a full grid of Junior Rotax Primo. Junior Rotax Primo, what do I mean by that? Well, they're exactly the same karts as we've just seen racing in the Junior Rotax class. However, Junior Rotax Primo is for a class for slightly younger drivers. These are 12 to 14-year-old drivers, and it gives the karters, all right, you've got a lot of karts that come up through cadets, and they've been racing like 5-6 years, sometimes 10 years before they get anywhere near a Rotax Max. But this gives a driver that maybe is new to karting. They've maybe just gotten their Rotax kart. That's the age group that Junior Rotax caters for, 12 to 16. Well, the 12 to 14-year-olds now have an opportunity in the Kart Championship to race in the Junior Primo class. Find their feet. They're not in with the fast drivers in the Junior Rotax class. They get a chance to have their own race and basically learn all about karting and learn all about how to race before you transition at 14 into the Junior Rotax class. So it's a great idea, genius idea I call it, from the Kart Championship organisers. Don't know whose idea it was, whether it was Darren's, Matty's or Joe's. Whoever's taken the credit, well done, pat on the back, because this really works. We've just seen our current champion, the 2024 Junior Primo champion, out in Junior Rotax, Daniel Hartley. Not had a great weekend, but they're a massive advocate of this Junior Primo class. And if you want to hear all about it, if you go back to the last round at Warden Law, in fact it was the Winter Series round at Warden Law, I have an interesting conversation with Daniel's dad about this thing and why this was right for his son Daniel. And if you are thinking about, going into Junior Rotax karting and you haven't got any experience, this is really where you need to be. Absolutely is.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a perfect ground, to get yourself up to speed around drivers who are at the same part of their, oh dear, I'm going to sound so American now.
Development.
Development. You saved me from saying the J word.
J word?
Journey. On their karting journey. And then I was going to go outside and beat myself over the head for even saying it, but you saved me from saying development.
Don't stop believing.
Don't stop believing. Who knows?
Don't stop believing. That was my journey.
Oh yeah. No, and then mine was the end scene in The Sopranos.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, and then it fades to black, and there was a gun shop. You don't know. Did Tony Soprano buy it?
Let's have a look at the grid. I'm going to have to be quick.
Go karting.
Yeah, yes. I'll have to be quick. Elijah Hazelwood, glorious pole position. Scored 5 points. That's an almost perfect score for him. Lewis Gilbert, the second. He's on the front row with him. Zach Jennings and Isaac Jameson are next up. Then we've got Alfie Forrester, Ronnie Legg on row 3. Aston Brown and Elijah Hartley. Cooper Campbell-Lee's current championship leader on 9th. Noah Clark 10th. Ethan Bath, Samuel Yeadon, Oscar Pitt, Oscar Shevich, Archie Ray Watson, Pierce Whitehead, Thomas Ambler, Josh Whittaker, Luke Wells, Thomas Butcher, Miles Cleworth, Harry Ward, Zach Mackay, Lily Shaw, is 24th. Then we've got Noah Jones, George Ralston, Lucas Olofsson, Charlie Thompson and Jasper Oakes. 29 karts have qualified, 29 karts of what we got out there.
Excellent. Good work from them all. Now, Lewis Gilbert has been fast, but is, as a lot of these drivers are, prone to a moment or two of inconsistency. They come to the line.
Looks a good start, Henry.
Gilbert there gets X-carted out of the way. And there's a false start.
It's a false start.
Oh, and one of the TV karts has a little moment. That's the number 95 of Archie Ray Watson. But don't panic, that's not the one that you can win in the raffle. That's a
I don't really know what happened there.
That was him easing off because of the false start, and the driver behind not seeing the false start, and possibly giving himself a nose cone penalty before the start.
Yeah, that's true. True enough. Archie Ray Watson will be able to resume his position. He's correct.
If he can catch them.
If he can catch them, yes.
Which he hasn't as of yet.
Yeah, he will be. He's got to be careful because we get towards a yellow flag zone, don't we?
And in fact, if you have a look, there's a TB kart right in the back.
Making his way through.
Not making his way through. And somebody else with their hand in the air. A mechanical issue, possibly. And are we going to see one driver peeling into the pits? Sadly, we do.
Here we go, Henry. Elijah Hazelwood. Will he get jumped again? It's Lewis Gilbert alongside, and he slides wide as Gilbert, but he's in second as he follows Hazelwood up the hill towards Spoon. It's Hazelwood and Gilbert and everybody else slotting in behind them.
Okay, game on. Lewis Gilbert, the false start. I think it was the number 19 kart of Isaac Jameson, who just sort of eased Gilbert wide through the first corner, through Clubhouse Corner, and that cost Gilbert a couple of places. This time, there was a slight brush of nose cone to bumper, but Gilbert was able to knock back out of the gas and stay on track and in second position. So that's game on.
That's Oscar Pitt who's just recovering. I think he's pulling that back on the track. I think Oscar's going to... all right, he's out of contention. He's just going to enjoy the drive.
Yes. I mean, I did wonder if he was any relation to Ethan Pitt, which would make him Pitt the younger. I did use that joke with Nick Dana, so I thought I'd refresh it.
He's here all week.
Yes.
Yeah, great stuff. There's the lead. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They just keep coming. This train of Junior Primos with Elijah Hazelwood now leading towards the final stages of the second lap here. He's got Lewis Gilbert with that easy to see bright white nose, the kind of virgin livery there, not having a sticker kit applied as they go through turn 1 and on up the Dragon Straight towards Spoon. There's no change at all apart from Samuel Yeadon moving ahead of Elijah Hartley and into 9th. That's demoted Hartley down to the top, being the last kart in the top 10.
And we didn't find out which, if any, team Lewis Gilbert the second, is in.
No.
Because if you're watching it at some of our online viewers, if you know which team that Gilbert is in, or maybe he's running as a private team.
Yeah, it might just be,
I mean, it looks like Evolution Racing.
It's a yellow and blue graphic, isn't it?
Evolution Racing graphics kit. But regardless, this has been extremely impressive because Lewis has not led a lap, but he has been the sole non-X-Kart runner at the sharp end.
Yeah.
With guest appearances by Ronnie Legg and Alfie Forrester.
Yes.
But Gilbert has been a constant threat, and this is not being critical of him, even though it's a criticism. He's still prone to moments of inconsistency. He had a spin in the first race. He had a moment wide. He still are, as many of these drivers are just ironing out those final few minutes. They can all do one fast lap, but in Junior Primo is where you still get drivers working on the ability to do 12 fast laps back to back.
And that, we take for granted the human element, don't we? We expect these drivers, these kids, to just get their, hit their braking points correctly and hit their apexes. And perhaps the Junior Primo class reminds you and I that they're only, the relative inexperience and it just shows the consistency at the top level of karting, the top level of this sport is very, very consistent. You've got to be absolutely inch perfect for the whole of the race.
Yeah, you try and get into a go-kart that travels at over 70 miles an hour with a sort of a solid rear axle sort of braking system that every time you brake, the kart doesn't want to turn in.
Yeah.
And then you put yourself with 28 other equally as testosterone-fueled, hungry other drivers, all trying to back you tooth and nail, and then you try and hit every apex every single lap and see how you get on. You know,
it's not as easy as these kids make it look.
It is absolutely not. Now Aston Brown. No, there's not. There's not. It's Jaguars. I was going to say Aston Brown's Lane. No, it doesn't work because it's wrong car company.
No, I actually don't know where you go with that.
No, I don't either. It was. I started off down the path and realised it was a dead end.
Did you handbrake turn?
I did it. It was a dead end. Yes.
You mentioned Lewis Gilbert spoiling the X-Kart party. I just want to explain to the viewers who might be new to this championship. Those two karts there, the black and white livery, as the leader goes through, the black and white livery karts, they're from the X-Kart team, and they're on the TB chassis, which you can win in a raffle.
Yes.
That you can go online on when you enter for round 4.
Yes.
You could enter the raffle, £10 a ticket. Got it in again. That's twice.
Yeah, that's twice. Well done.
Matty's getting his money's worth. So that kart there, the blue and white one, that's Lewis Gilbert, and he's not part of that same team.
No, and he's on an X-Free chassis because it's bright orange, which is an OTK product. The TB kart you can win is in the same livery as the number 57, Aston Brown, who is currently in 5th, because that is the factory TB kart livery.
Can we drop back to that one, Nick? The green kart there, just coming through there, who is being challenged by Alfie Forrester.
Yes,
that's the kart. That's what you can win.
Yep, the mean green machine.
And it comes with that livery, with the side pods and the fairings and the NASA panel. And you could be the owner of that kart for just a £10 entry fee to a raffle. I bought 20 quid's worth, so I've got 2 chances.
And those chances are magnified every time you mention it.
Yeah, well, I'm shooting myself.
No, we shouldn't say that.
I'm shooting myself in the foot because the more people I encourage to buy a raffle ticket, the less chance I have.
Yeah. The kart behind the TV kart is, I believe, one of the new Pantano chassis, that mustard yellow livery machine. So, the Giorgio Pantano chassis, that has made its debut in Europe and the US last year. Now it's on making its debut here in the UK. That is a bespoke chassis. When I talk about an X-Free or a Lando Norris or a Cosmic, that is all multicoloured.
I know who Giorgio Pantano is.
Yes.
But you might want to... Formula 3000 he got to, didn't he? On the fringes of Formula 1.
Yes. He did get to Formula 1 with Jordan team for several races.
Did he?
Yep. Got Formula 3000 World Karting Champion, and for many years was the staple American journalists' April Fool's joke, because for many years, April Fool, there would be a team owner who was not a shady character. He would announce that Giorgio Pantano, sponsored by Zenico Fuels, is entered in the Champ Car World Series, as it was then. And only one journalist that I'm aware of fell for it.
Is that right?
Me.
Really?
I also fell for the classic Kia to enter the Champ Car World Series. It was a long time ago, but yeah.
Maybe the Chump Car World Series.
Yeah, but Giorgio Pantano, a fantastic talent.
We didn't really see what he was capable of in his full career, did we?
No.
He was cut short by lack of funding.
Yes, yeah.
But you could say that about me.
I mean, I did beat Tony Oliuzzi, former World Karting Champion.
Did you really?
In a kart race, yeah.
Did his chain come off, did it?
Yeah. He broke down the first lap. No, he didn't finish second behind me. Now, here we go. Back to the action.
It's the 2-minute bell.
Oh, here we go.
It's the 2-minute bell, but it's nicely spaced out.
What have we got?
Nicely spaced out. It's not changed.
No, now it's time to go, Lewis. This is, if you've been saving anything, this is your time to go. Can Elijah Hazelwood take 2 wins? Now, Hazelwood came out of his kart at another event at Ward Law got straight back in, tried to get started again. That's after, turning Senna 1 on his head.
I remember.
And he's a tough cookie. He's bounced back. Chris Harvey looking after him, mechanicking for him. But Gilbert is looking quick on this lap. Last time around, the top 3 drivers all did their personal best laps. Zach Jennings in 3rd place, a 43.11, fastest lap of the race. Gilbert was a smidge quicker than race leader Hazelwood that time around, but to be fair, it's Jennings who is the driver on the rise in terms of lap times.
Here we go then, because Lewis Gilbert is going to be challenged. The driver Zach Jennings there on that black and white X-Kart, he wants to make it an X-Kart 1-2. Lewis Gilbert says, no, I'm going to stand in between you on the podium, and time is running out. So 30 seconds or so on the clock as they cross the line. So it'll be 2 more laps to go. So it'll be the last lap board next time. And look at this, it's coming. Yep. Zach Jennings closing on Lewis Gilbert. He's going to have to wait for the opening, and Gilbert, if he's not careful, is going to have to watch the door being left open, and that door is left wide open at Spoon as they go down the hill to the carousel. And it's this late apex that catches Lewis Gilbert napping, and great drive there from Zach Jennings, who was waiting for that to happen.
Yeah, and I've got to say that Gilbert, he might complain, saying, oh, he pushed me out of the way. No, you left the door open, Lewis. Yeah, there may have been a little bit of side pod to side pod touching, but that was because Jennings was already there. You cannot leave a gap like that 2 laps before the end of the main event at this level. Valuable lesson, but now Gilbert, on the last lap, has a chance to return the favour.
Yeah,
can't get it done there, though.
Opportunities running low, as I'm afraid we are running out of time for this one. We're on the last lap now at the carousel for the last time, heading towards turns 5 and 6. Time running out. Gilbert just latching onto the rear bumper of Jennings in that 2nd place. Meanwhile, Elijah Hazelwood, he's the leader, getting into the compression through the Devil's Elbow and onto the final turn for the checkered flag flying. An X-Kart 1 and 2 with Elijah Hazelwood and Zach Jennings taking the win and 2nd place. Lewis Gilbert, he'll be disappointed, I think, Henry, with 3rd. However, it's a strong finish. Isaac Jameson 4th, Aston Brown 5th, Alfie Forrester 6th, Samuel Yeadon, Zach Mackay, Luke Wells. I think that's under Motorsport 8th and 9th there, right there, Zach Mackay and Luke Wells. George Railston